The Basque people live in a very small region between Spain and France, and their territory is claimed by both countries. Though ethnically diverse and linguistically unique compared to the rest of Europe, the Basques live very similar lives to the rest of the greater Western Europe. Evidence shows they were in this region before the Romans, and even before the Iberians arrived to the rest of Spain. A common idea among scholars is that Basques are pure descendants of the first humans to arrive in Europe, and the language spoken in the Basque country, Euskera, supports this position. The language is a linguistic mystery. In this, it is isolated as the only language to survive the Romanization of Europe during the height of the Roman Empire. This leads some scholars to believe that Euskera is also the descendant of the language that traveled with the first settlers of Europe. The Basque country is divided between northern Spain and southern France, though less than 12% of the total Basque land exists in France. Because of this, 91% of the population exists in Spain. The Basque area is divided into 20 regions, 3 of which are located in France and are considered among the poorest regions in France. The Spanish side is more prosperous, and its 17 regions are grouped into large areas, the Basque Kingdom and the Basque Country. Traditionally, the Basque people live in small towns and villages and made their living on farming, herding sheep, and fishing. The lifestyle changed significantly during the industrialization of Europe, when large deposits of coal and iron were found in the Basque land. The Basque people shifted into a shipbuilding society, which allowed the Spanish side of the Basque country to remain profitable economically. This is Angelo. During their vacation, he and his sister live with their parents in San Sebastian, on the Bay of Biscay, on the Spanish side of the Basque country. With their parents as well as friends, Angelo and his sister speak a mixture of Euskera and Spanish, though both have taken extensive English classes during their education and happily spoke to me in English. Angelo's parents ran a hotel on the bay and participate significantly in the tourism business of the Basque Spain. Since Basque has only semi-autonomy, the vast majority of Basque people are held to the same standards of education and given the same opportunities as their parent states. In the Spanish side, there is a free compulsory education from the age of 6 to 16. After this compulsory schooling, if the child scores well enough, he or she can continue his secondary education for 2 years to prepare for entrance exams to university. If the child so chooses or does not have the test scores to continue on his secondary education, he can choose to join the workforce or continue his education at one of the many technical or vocational schools. In Basque country, they use the Spanish model with slight changes. The major change is the inclusion and option to take classes taught in Euskera. This is at primary, secondary, and university level education. At the university level, approximately 35% of students still choose the option of Basque instruction instead of Spanish. The other addition is classes teaching Euskera, alongside Spanish and French. Over 90% of the students are taking Basque immersion programs in primary and secondary education. The Basque education system is proud of its records, consistently outperforming Spain and other European Union states in education statistics and standardized tests, as well as percentage of students who finish the post-compulsory secondary education, outperforming Spain by 20% in this area, which is also 3 percentage points above the EU average.
My parents decided that after my sister and I finished our preschooling, that we would attend different schools. Though this is not entirely common among Basque parents, my parents wished to show both their love for the Basque people and their disagreement with the more violent Basque separatists. I attended a Basque compulsory school, instructed in Euskera, but because of education requirements, I also took courses in Spanish and English. My sister attended a Spanish school, instructed in Spanish, and took English courses. She still speaks Euskera at home, though has difficulty reading and writing it.
The Basques are very proud people, proud of their history and uniqueness of their language and culture. Despite this, they are open to new inventions, technologies, and sciences. There is a desire among some Basques to have their own country. In order to break away from Spain, a group of freedom fighters or terrorists have killed around 900 people in the past 50 years. Quoting a Basque song, "If we still want to be ourselves in the future, first we must know who we were in the past." For over half a century, Basques have been seeking their independence. The real start of independence movement is said to go back to Sabino Arana, the founder of the Basque Nationalist Party. This influential figure was studying at a university in Catalonia, an area that was also seeking independence, or at least autonomy from Spain. There, Arana learned to distrust the Spanish central government, as well as the importance of preserving the unique cultures and languages of such areas like Catalonia and Basque. Basque separatists could be broadly categorized into two groups: those who want complete independence and those who seek a degree of autonomy. After the Spanish Civil War, Francisco Franco took power and supported a unitarily nationalistic Spain. He outlawed the flags of independence movement throughout Spain and taking away any degree of autonomy in the Basque region. In response, a movement started in the Basque country to call for independence, called ETA, Basque Homeland and Freedom. The ETA started as a movement that embraced the traditions and identity of the Basque, but later turned into a violent movement that assassinated Franco's prime minister. After the fall of Franco's regime, the Basque region was given a great degree of self-governance, including their own elected parliament, school system, police, and the taxation of their own people. However, the movement still continued in the region, and negotiations took place with the Spanish government. The ETA found that they were not getting what they wished for from negotiations. Therefore, violence erupted between the ETA and the Spanish government, and over 100 people have died in this conflict. Because of the violent tactics, the ETA lost much of their public support. In 1995, the ETA issued a peace proposal to end all armed activities under the conditions that the Spanish government give Basque people authority over their land and freedom for all imprisoned ETA members. The Spanish government disagreed, and over the next 15 years, tensions have oscillated between the two sides. Finally, on October 2011, ETA declared an ultimate cessation of its armed activities.
I chose to attend the Basque National University because I believe that the Basque people deserve to govern themselves with full autonomy. But I disagree with the violent actions of the predecessors of this movement. That is why I chose to attend the Basque University, to study political science and economics. My dream is to gain a seat in the Basque Parliament to work towards this end, and encourage my fellow Basques in civic participation to achieve this. My sister, after graduation, decided to follow many of her friends to attend university in England, where many Basque students go. She lives there during the year, coming back on holiday. She always loved the stories from around the world she heard from talking to tourists at our parents' hotel, and is studying to be a journalist to give her a chance to see the world.
Athletic Bilbao is one of the famous soccer clubs in Basque, located in the capital Bilbao. The club is a clear symbol for Basque nationalism, as they have a rule of signing only Basque players, or at least players who are in the youth team. This tradition has existed for over a century. One may think that such a policy today may be a drawback for the team performance, having to rely only on a limited pool of players. Despite this, Athletic Bilbao has been one of the three teams that have never relegated alongside Real Madrid and Barcelona. Not only that, but Athletic Bilbao has the record of the biggest win in La Liga, winning Barcelona 12-1 in the 1930-31 season. The club's policy gives the sense that the club is a pure Basque team with a Basque identity. The club is also something that young people who have not witnessed much of the conflicts of independence could relate to and be used to get them attached to the region. Garcia, the president of Athletic Bilbao, says, "We unite people of very distinct political views. They support their club, not their parties." Pelota, the Basque most famous sports, originally a rural game, was transformed into a sport when people from the cities attended the matches to bet, and businessmen built courts to make games more interesting and to house bigger audiences. There are several versions of the game, being the most popular the hand, la mano. Players use their open hand to hit a half a pound ball against a wall, or from one side to the other side of the court.
I love soccer. I played on my secondary school's team, though I love watching it even more. I support Athletic Bilbao. The ability for a club to be such a symbol of Basque pride and still do so well is amazing. My father and I go to as many home matches as we can when I can take a break from my studies. Pelota is a game commonly seen in recreational areas between classes at my university, and even during recess at primary and secondary schools. It takes a lot of skill, but is a lot of fun, and is an easy game to play, requiring only a ball.
Like many young people around the world, many challenges face Basque youth. Not all are as proud of their heritage as Andrew. Most feel their own state is unnecessary, and also feel that learning Euskara is a waste of time. The future of independence movement and that of the Basque people will depend on people like Andrew, who wish a continuation of the people and continued education in the language. The other problem is the difficulty of finding jobs. During the global recession, entry-level jobs dried up in the Basque region, leaving many highly educated and motivated young people without jobs, and unemployment high after compulsory school and university. Though the Basque education system is impressive, it is having a trouble reversing this trend.